It's just that release.
1 clap, 2 clap, 3 clap, 4.
3 clap, blue clap.
Give me some more. Oh, I love clapping. I need to feel the clap. Feel it just shiver all through my body.
Wow.
Man.
Gosh. All right.
That is disturbing.
That's a
yeah. Hello and welcome to episode 648 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, April 9th, 2019. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
What's going on, my brothers?
How's it going?
It's going. We're getting to, the 20 inches, 20 centimeters of snow tomorrow.
20 centimeters of snow.
What
Well, that's like 2 inches, right?
Could use some of that global warming right now.
20 centimeters to inches is 7.87402 inches. That's a substantial amount of snow.
That's a pretty
good amount. Mid-April.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that? Yeah.
Although, if global warming's still a thing,
Why are we still getting all this snow?
why we still got monkeys?
It's true.
Right.
Yep.
And from the great state of Washington, Mr. Filthy Bald.
I'm currently sitting on 0.0 centimeters of snow.
How many inches is that? Is it like
hold
temperature?
on.
Is it like 32 inches? Is that
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In
I got
both
no snow.
directions
in both? Wow.
simultaneously.
That's
No snow
that's
here.
That's
So
some of that new
weird.
math.
It's a weird system.
Mm-hmm.
You get
It's,
that right.
yeah, well, you know what it is? Microclimates. That's what
Ah,
it'll do it to
right,
you. Yeah,
right.
yeah, because you're on the wayward side, and
Yeah. Weather bombs? Just a bunch of weather bombs?
I was dropping some weather bombs earlier today.
That's not what those are called.
Stormy weather's coming in fast.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Hey, so I was on spring break last week.
Woo!
Can't you tell? I'm very
Spring break!
tan.
Yeah, I think I caught you in the wet t-shirt contest.
Yeah.
What? That wasn't supposed to be live streamed.
You were wearing
No,
the white
just like
shirt.
the Airbnb. It's not supposed to be live streamed. But it is.
But, check the vents.
Right.
Always
That's
check
right.
the vents.
Spent the week
Mhm.
at the beach in Florida.
Yeah.
It was cold at the start.
Yeah. As
We got
Did you
there
get
and
20 centimeters of snow?
it was like 52 degrees.
Is that
And
cold?
that's Fahrenheit.
that's Fahrenheit for you.
That is
We still got in the pool.
what? Was it a
It was
heated
a heated
pool?
pool. It was a
Oh,
heated
okay.
pool, at least.
CJ's mantra's always been party first.
Yes.
We
So-
did get in the pool. Yes.
It's a heated pool, and if CJ loves nothing, it's urinating in swimming pools.
That's right.
Absolutely.
It was more
correct.
heated after CJ got in there.
Yeah.
I found my spot by one of the water jets. That, was,
It feels.
Well, that really, spreads it out.
that
It
does.
does the
That's
most
right.
good there.
It does all the work there.
And when CJ is sitting in front of a water jet, he likes to spread it out too, just to maximum
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 rolling action
insertion.
going there. Blah, 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 blah,
maximum
blah.
coverage.
Yeah.
Now, one of the
If I
days
angle
that we
this
were
just
there,
right, the water comes out my mouth. Watch.
one of the days we
Like
were
a
there,
sprinkler.
we were in this place had like 3 pools, and one
Okay.
indoor and 2 outdoor. So
Which one's your peeing pool? Did you pick one and then just stick with it the whole week? Or
no.
no?
He-
Spread it
sat
around, just like we were
Sat in
saying.
one pool and
peed into the
aimed
other.
it into the other. Yeah.
That's exactly how
If you
that
can-
goes.
It's like a chair.
CJ used to coach a swim team, so he
Yep.
knows all these tricks.
Yep.
Not coach, manage.
Managed.
Let's
He wasn't
be-
a coach.
Was
you're
not
the
the coach.
manager.
It's a manager.
What's the difference
Ooh,
between
boy.
of a high school swim team? What is the difference between coach and manager?
Oh, we don't have enough time to go into that discussion here. But what I would like to go into
Anyway,
is one of the pools. So my daughter was swimming. We were watching my daughter splash around in the pool.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, bleh, and
no.
everybody clears out of the pool. It was not
You're-
my daughter who did it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gee. Well,
Still,
don't,
though.
kid.
don't lead with that then.
No, really.
You gotta.
Let it-
'Cause
And
that totally sounded like your daughter puked in the pool.
no, she did not.
It was some other kid.
Some other kid, and
Okay.
never seen so many people jump out of a pool.
CJ
Right.
was screaming at their
That.
parents, "You're ruining spring break.
You've ruined it.
Your kid ruined it."
Yeah,
No,
So that
that's
was
it,
fun.
right? And that happens. Got to clear the pool.
got to clear the pool. Yeah,
they
and-
had to drain it. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, it's supposed
Yeah.
to.
They didn't drain the pool.
Oh,
no! Instead,
why wouldn't we go back in that pool?
Well, I did go back in that pool.
Oh,
what?
The urine had killed the vomit. So
you went back in the vomit pool?
Back in the
urine
vomit
particles.
Pool. Yeah, it was like a day later. It was like a day later.
Oh yeah,
What's
so
the worst
that
that could happen?
That's just more time for it to fester.
I know. I mean, they cleaned
nice,
it. We watched them clean it.
Yeah,
we watched them clean it.
With what? Just so they
hose
it down?
No, there's like
so much chlorine. The animals out in the ocean were dying.
There's like a vacuum that goes along. Yeah, gets the
and does what
stuff? I don't know. They got a bag of something.
Oh wow!
And the guy dumped some more chlorine in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Fine. A day later. Yeah.
So when the guy was vacuuming it up,
yeah,
did you just kind of casually walk over to him and just kind of lean in and just be like, so you're gonna throw that away?
Oh
no.
Oh,
gross.
You would do that, Phil. I would not do that.
You know what I wouldn't do is go swimming in the pool after the fact. Man.
Well,
jeez Louise.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But anyway, so it was a fun spring break. Very eventful.
You just said
relaxing spring break.
Full of vomiting. Blair Farrell just said in our chat that's Florida for you, and it reminded me I haven't Googled Florida man in a while. So I just did that. First hit: Florida man arrested for burglarizing cars in jail parking lot moments after being released.
Yep, there you go.
Wow, it's always fun to go to Google and just Google Florida man and see what the first hit
is. So this was spring break.
Yeah.
And how old was the kid who puked in the pool?
Give me an estimate. Like 11 or 12.
So there was a lot of alcohol in that puke.
How wasted was the kid?
Yeah.
Did the kid have one of those was it yard full of margarita?
Was he wearing a helmet with two cans on it? Was it?
No. Oddly enough, this spring break location, it was mostly families.
Okay,
it was not your usual.
That's weird for you. You don't usually take your daughter to family-friendly areas.
I know you're right. We usually go to Vegas, where it's the #1 party pool, and it's all 20-somethings getting drunk. But this time we went to a family-friendly place.
Let's walk through the wall of cigarette smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then we'll go to the.
That's the worst part about Vegas.
And then we'll go hang out with the 21-year-olds drunk in the pool.
Sure,
my young daughter.
Let's go to the lazy river where people are just sitting on the edge drinking beers and brewskis. I was going to say brewskis.
Were you?
I was going to say brewskis.
Were you? What stopped you?
I don't know. I said it anyway.
About halfway through that word, you rethought your stance on that.
Should I say beer or brewskis?
Was it a
toeing the line where between the point where the podcast becomes evidence? Right. When the name of the podcast becomes Exhibit A.
Hey, I've been to the MGM Grand Lazy River. I know. That's what I'm describing, really. My daughter loved it. But anyway.
So how quickly did she get out of the vomit pool?
She was the last one to get out.
Of course.
We had to get out.
Was she splashing?
She was splashing, yeah. She was over by the stairs.
I found me a spaghetti-o in the pool.
I want to get out. There's been an incident. Yeah.
Oh,
but other than that, it was a fun break.
Yeah.
Very relaxing. Yeah.
That's good.
Anyway.
That's good.
Should we talk about some video game news? I think we should.
I guess.
Yeah. Let's kick off with this Jason Schreier article.
Okay.
It went up on Kotaku last week. Here's how BioWare's Anthem went wrong. Long article.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, I believe you skimmed it and decided you wanted to read it.
I looked at it, and then I started scrolling down, and then I scrolled down for a good 7 or 8 minutes.
7 or 8 minutes.
And I was not.
The difference, though, I mean, the nice thing about that is that I forget the name of that writer that writes thousands of words for every review. But anyway,
I know exactly what you're talking. Tim Rogers.
Yeah. The difference here is that all those words were filled with quotes from people who were actually
right. Well, there was something.
So it was actually a little more interesting to look at.
Yeah. I did not. I couldn't be bothered.
And what it really seems like is this is an extension of Schreier's previous work with Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Right. Talking about just the making of a video game and how, no matter how good the final product is, making video games is a tough business. And sometimes it doesn't come together. In Anthem's case, it didn't come together.
Right.
So an interesting read for sure. I think it's going to be like after Fallout 76 and Anthem, it's going to be very interesting to see how AAA publishers handle games that are like games as a service type releases, because I feel like those two games in particular were set up for success. You got BioWare, the very popular studio with Mass Effect. This is their follow-up to that. And you had, Fallout is a franchise that people love. And in both cases, that kind of went out the door and tarnished some reputations. And it's going to be interesting to see how things are handled going forward. That's what I took out of that article. Like, it seems to me like in both cases, those games were rushed to the finish line because a release date had already been announced and marketing had been set up. And once you get in that spiral, like, you can't pull out.
But see, I think that's where I take something different from it, because I don't think the fact that it was a game as a service was the problem. If you read the article, that's not what I took away from the article.
No, okay.
And I think that saying they were rushed to the finish line because a release date was announced. Sure, but
in Anthem's case, they seem to know a year out that they weren't going to make it,
right?
Because they didn't even have like more than one mission designed until. Like,
but I mean, they had also been working on it for 6 years,
and yeah, they've been working.
So
on it for 6 years.
I mean, there were a lot of problems with that. Clearly, a lot of problems with that that whole thing. There's a lot of design by committee up front, which I've never really believed in. Near the finish line, there was definitely a major element of it was EA finally saying, like, this thing's got to go out. Which, I mean, you can say that makes them bad, but it was a 7-year development cycle.
7-year development cycle, and the mock reviews that are mentioned in this piece said that they expected like an 80, like an 80.
Yeah, Metacritic closer to a 50.
Oh, yeah, it's closer to a 50. So, yeah.
But I mean, there were a lot of I think things that they probably couldn't have helped, which was like, again, a lot of development by committee up front, and then it seemed like they went through a lot of decision makers, either by people leaving. They had one of the major decision makers die suddenly partway through the project. So that's a lot to come back from, especially when it was a development that was clearly in disarray already. So and then the whole thing about, I mean, there was crunch at the end, and clearly there's going to be crunch at the end, especially if you're in that much disarray anyway. But it's funny because a lot of what they described, to me anyway, that was described in there, maybe not with as much focus as they should have had, but a lot of what they described was that it took them forever to find the fun in the game. And it's funny because you go to a lot of software development now, a lot of software developers now, and everyone talks about being agile. And that's sort of the definition of it, where it's like, we're going to make it and then we're going to iterate until we find what works. Right. It needs to be focused, and it needs to be guided by somebody or a small team with a vision.
It sounded like that wasn't the case.
It sounded like that's what was missing. Right. But I mean, I think
no leadership.
It probably won't be a very popular opinion, but I think it's very uncommon in games to get to the end of a project and not have some sort of crunch. Not saying that it's okay, but it's just the creative process of games always seems to me, and I'm not saying like a 2-year death march.
Right.
I'm saying like, a push to the finish line, maybe like a few weeks or a month or a couple months, but that's it. I'm not saying like, you work 90-hour weeks start to finish, from pre-production all the way to the end. But I think you are going to have those moments, and as you get to milestones, you're going to have those moments as well. Like if you're pushing towards a E3 demo, do people still do those? An E3 demo, or any kind of stakeholder milestone, you're going to hit crunch or some bit of overtime. But I don't know. These articles are interesting, but I also think that they need to be tempered a little bit.
Do you think they give consumers the wrong idea? Like do you think somebody reading that who's not experienced working in the industry, do you think they come away from that with a different idea?
I think that, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, not being there, everything's a little bit different. Every experience is a little bit different, but I just feel like there's not enough. And I know that Jason reached out to EA to comment as well, but there needs to be another viewpoint from there. I really feel like these articles are great, but they also definitely err on the side of the stories coming from people who have just been, maybe, probably most of the time, have just been through very high stress, and in the case of Anthem, drop tons and tons of their lives into this game that didn't do very well. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a trouble. It's not always because of a troubled development process. Some people just don't like the game you make. But so that's the lens that the story is being told through, and it just, the truth is definitely somewhere in the middle in those. And I wish that these articles, which are fascinating and they're fun to read, but I wish that they'd be tempered a little bit by the other side, so that then at least the reader can say, okay, like, EA says this is how it goes, and this was a perfect process. Well, these guys who were locking themselves in rooms and crying, so clearly things were terrible, are saying this, but they're on the other side of the experience now, and they're looking back on it. So where does it really fall in the middle? That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. BioWare, EA put up a response to the piece like almost immediately, apparently, and they only knew bullet points.
Right.
So,
but I also think they don't want to, if they already refuse to
comment
on the article, I don't think you're going to release a litany of,
no.
You're just going to say, we don't think this was fair, and move on, because if you start getting into the minutia of it, it could just snowball.
Yeah, I think in both the case of Anthem and Fallout 76, there has to be yes, okay, at release, this was a very disappointing product, and here's how we're going to turn it around, right? And to me, that's the other half of this story. Like, is BioWare able to turn around Anthem and appeal to their fans and the people who like the game? Because there are people who like the game, believe it or not.
Sure.
Like, I've heard it on podcasts. Some people are enjoying Anthem legitimately. So how does the game move forward? What are they going to change about what people didn't like, etc.? And what is EA going to change about their process? Like, for instance, one of the things pointed out in the piece was that, like, the early Origin, EA Origin or EA Access version was like old, and they knew it was buggy when it went out. And that was what a lot of reviews and early impressions were based on. Like, does that change in how EA releases games going forward? Are we going to see that sort of chart approach? Remember the chart that said, when can you play Anthem? And it was like 5 different things.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Like, are we going to see a change in that strategy? Like, what's how does this change how they release games in the future? Does it at all? Like, yeah, it'd be interesting.
I don't know.
We won't know until years from now, I'm sure. But what we do know is that Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild are getting some VR experiences thanks to the Labo VR kit that is coming out.
That was a smooth transition.
Do you like that?
I really, really liked that.
So the Mario Odyssey update is going to have a couple little mini experiences from several levels in the game. And then Zelda Breath of the Wild, it seems like you can play the game in VR.
That's what it sounds like, right?
Because I watched the little video they had, and it was in Breath of the Wild, and it was a mode in the settings menu or in the options menu to turn on or off the VR mode. So,
well, and like the Mario segment of the trailer, they made it very clear that, hey, this is just like a little separate VR experience.
That's right. It's like 3 or 6 different.
Yeah, it's not the whole game. It's like you go around and collect coins or whatever in it, and it's just a fun little thing. But yeah, like the Zelda, they just said VR coming to Zelda.
So I'm very interested in how that plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be very curious to see what the impressions are like.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna get the Labo VR anyway.
Yeah,
just for kind of
the starter kit or the whole caboodle.
I was why not? If I'm in for one, I'm in for
it's
the whole thing. Why not? Why not? Just for the novelty.
64 different games you can play.
Is that right? Is that the total?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, just for the novelty, I'm interested in getting it. But boy, now I really am curious about it.
Yeah, because they should do something for Captain Toad, because
that would be great.
You're already kind of looking at the stage from that outside perspective and rotating it around, and that'd be really interesting to like be able to move your head for the camera.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like that would be a perfect one.
I'm very interested in it.
Or Mario Kart VR.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool too.
Yeah.
So
the only odd thing is that it works kind of like a Viewmaster, right? Where you put, it doesn't strap to your head at all. It's just
you're holding it up to your face. It up.
Yeah. So I don't imagine you play the entirety of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that would be difficult
in VR. Yeah, slightly.
Yeah, but I'm very curious though.
Me too.
You know what I saw? The over in Japan, apparently you can purchase specially made cardboard boxes to store your Labo creations.
I saw that.
Did you see those?
I did.
I mean, they're just cardboard boxes, but they have like the Labo branding on the side.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it is just here's a cardboard box.
I have mine in an Amazon box.
There you go. Well, that's hardly
branded.
How do you know what's in there?
I don't.
I'm tempted to pick up some just for the novelty of it.
Just
for the goofiness.
This is a Labo box.
It's my Labo box of Labo.
Now, do the instructions on how to assemble it?
It comes with a separate game cartridge.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to plug in and follow along the steps to assemble your cardboard box to store your cardboard boxes. So
that's right.
It's very amusing to me.
Yeah. So there's a rumor that Microsoft is going to offer a bundled subscription for Xbox Live and Game Pass.
Really?
Those currently are sold as 2 different subscriptions.
Oh, okay.
And there's a rumor, it's not confirmed yet, that they're going to be doing $14.99 monthly fee for both. So I think Game Pass right now is $10 by itself.
$10 a month for Game Pass, and then and you get Xbox Gold or whatever, Xbox Live Gold.
That's the one.
Okay, so that would be an extra $5 times 12 is $60. How much is a year of Xbox Live Gold anyway?
Like 60.
So
you can get it on various. I mean, they have sale ones, obviously.
Yeah, but the standard retail price.
Standard, I think, is 50 or 60.
Okay, so $15 a month is essentially what you're paying if you have both services anyway.
Yeah,
they're just consolidating them into one payment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which sure.
Yeah. Why not?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So Nintendo Switch Online getting some new games for the NES service this week, including Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels. I played through that once. I played through that all of once.
I've never played through it all the way,
and
it's not that fun.
It didn't really seem all that fun. It's punishing.
We got the better Mario too.
We did get the better. That's true. Punch Out, starring Mr. Dream.
Oh, you know who's upset about that?
Mike Tyson.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's punching mad.
Mike Tyson getting on Twitter, complaining, trying to get everyone to yell at Nintendo for
not paying to license his name.
Apparently cutting him out of Punch Out, which happened 30 years ago.
Yeah, 25 at least. 30 years ago, probably.
Right
at this point. Yeah,
right.
30,
Yeah, he's all like, "Wow, what's a Punch Out game without Mike Tyson?"
It's been that way for 30 years. So
and I mean, the first Punch Out game didn't have Mike Tyson.
Yep, you're right. Super Punch Out.
The NES re-release didn't have it,
right?
Yeah. Super,
and also the Wii game.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of Punch Out games without Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, so I'm okay with that.
I don't know. Yeah.
How I wonder how much it would be to license. Not that they would want to.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna guess there's a few reasons why they wouldn't be interested.
Couple of reasons. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably a few.
Yeah.
But you know what? Punch Out, NES Punch Out, whether Mike Tyson or Mr. Dream is the final boss, is an outstanding game.
It is.
It's an outstanding game that holds up remarkably well today. What's the other?
I was hearing this week some people talking about how they find that the game's a little bit harder on modern televisions.
Oh, because
of the tiny bit of input lag,
mm-hmm.
and Tyson moves so fast,
right,
that it's almost impossible to react.
Mr. Dream moves.
Mr. Dream.
So fast.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't recognize that version of the game.
Here we go.
Here we go again.
Greg only enjoys games that have convicted rapists in them.
I didn't say that either.
But if you play Punch Out starring Mr. Dream on the Switch in handheld mode, theoretically, there shouldn't be any input lag.
Yeah, unfortunately, you just don't have a D-pad, which kind of sucks.
I guess you're right.
Well, you can buy that.
You can buy the Hori
the officially licensed Hori D-pad,
which is readily available at any Target or
is it really? Target carries those?
Target carries that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
Too bad we don't have Target here.
They have multiple editions of it. There's a Zelda one, there's a Mario one, and I think there's a Pokemon one too.
Oh, well,
I think I might be wrong about that.
I do not know. But if there is, that's the one you should buy.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we're getting Star Soldier.
Oh, nice.
Also.
Nice.
So,
Star Soldier? Star Soldier?
Do you really care?
Really? Star Soldier is a fun game.
You're waiting to play Star Soldier on your Switch?
Do you have do you not like Star Soldier?
It doesn't. I don't like or dislike it. It's a nothing release.
It's a nothing release. What?
Yeah.
It's a long running.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Quality series. Hudson shoot 'em ups. Come on, man.
What's not to like?
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Star Soldier. This isn't like Air Fortress or something.
Air Fortress.
This is one of the good NES shooters. Yes, I'm absolutely excited for Star Soldier.
It's not Star Voyager.
Yeah. It's not Star Voyager, it's Star Soldier.
Yeah.
You know?
Get with the times, man.
Come on, man.
Anyway, those come out on the 10th.
The 10th of what?
April.
10th of your butt.
10th of your butt.
How does that work?
Oh, if you got to ask, man.
So Sony has revised their refund policy for the PlayStation Network. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Very little bit.
What was it before?
Previous, if you pre-ordered a game digitally, you could not get a refund.
If you pre-ordered it.
So all sales are final.
Oh.
On the digital storefront. Yeah. Okay. So if even for pre-ordered games, couldn't get a refund. Unless the release date passed and the game wasn't actually released. then it automatically refunds you. But now you can get a refund on pre-ordered games as long as you've not downloaded them yet.
Oh.
So if you pre-ordered something but have not preloaded it,
oh,
which happens usually like 3 or 4 days before the game comes out, then you get a refund.
Okay.
Or you can get a refund up to 14 days after downloading if the game is broken in some capacity.
Define broken.
This is complicated.
Yeah, very complicated.
What does broken mean?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. But for faulty, quote unquote, faulty games,
that's really that's a lot open to interpretation.
It is.
Yeah, really.
It is. But at least it's something, because before you couldn't get a refund on digital titles. So this is something.
I get an idea.
What?
Make digital titles cheaper.
Well, there is that, and Microsoft has it's close to a Steam policy where you can play up to 2 hours of a game or 14 days. It's something very close to that, and you can get a refund. So I would prefer if more digital storefronts had that policy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because for somebody like me who gets motion sickness from some games, not knowing whether you're going to get sick from a game or not before you purchased it, paid for it, is bad. So, but this is a start. So hopefully it gets better as we go into the next generation. Let's talk Starlink.
Still not cheap here, and now I can't even find the ships anymore. So
yeah, and they're not making any new ships either. So they're doing a spring update, and apparently there's more content coming after this. Yeah. But Ubisoft put out a Battle for Atlas production update on their website that said they're not making any more toys.
My collection is complete.
Good Lord.
Yes.
There we go.
So you're going to get some new content, and apparently there's even more content planned for the future. But no toys.
Well, all right.
So, oh well.
And you know what? That is way expected, because
oh my god, I couldn't even believe they did another Toys to Life.
I don't know what they were thinking doing a Toys to Life thing to begin with, because that whole genre is dead. But it's a bummer, because those ships are actually really neat little toys.
Yeah,
they're fantastic.
It was a cool idea, for sure.
Yeah, and when, like I said, they're well made. You know,
if that had come out at the beginning of the Toys to Life craze, might have been a different story. But yeah. All right. Well, how about we get to what you have been playing? Okay. And we're going to start with Greg.
Honestly, I wasn't playing much of anything this week. I mean, I'm trying to think what I played. Probably the most interesting thing I tried out this week in any great amount was Jet Set Radio Future on the Xbox. I played it as a donor request. Yeah, okay. JSRF, as the kids call it. The kids from 20 years ago.
Yes.
Oh God.
And you know, I gotta say, and I think we talked about this before. Jet Set Radio.
Yeah.
Great aesthetic, amazing soundtrack.
Sure.
Amazing soundtracks for both games. Not great gameplay. Yeah.
I thought the gameplay in the Dreamcast game was better than Future, actually.
Well, the thing with Future is it didn't take into account the fact that you had 2 analog sticks.
Oh.
So on the Dreamcast, the camera was a little wonky, but you only had 1 analog stick, so it kind of made a little more sense.
Right.
On the Xbox One, like they streamlined the controls in that you didn't have to stop and do all the little movements with the analog stick to paint the big murals, which
I liked. I liked that.
Which I kind of liked too. It gave it a little bit of personality, but it's gone. Yeah.
Felt like you were really doing it instead of I'm pressing A.
Right, now you can just skate by a wall that has like 15 symbols, and as long as you hold down the R button, you just paint 15 times and it's done.
I did not mind the taking away the little motions.
Yeah, no? I could see either way. Yeah. But yeah, it just those games never played all that great. And it was funny because I was sitting there playing it, and actually Blair, who's in our chat right now, he was watching, and I believe he had my review because I reviewed the game for EGM.
Right.
And about an hour into it, he said, "This is really funny because you've literally brought up everything you brought up in your review during the stream."
That's funny.
So, yeah, it was, it still looks nice. It's not backwards compatible in the Xbox One. No. Amazing soundtrack. Still can't overemphasize that enough. It's just, and I think I actually like the soundtrack of the Xbox One more than the Dreamcast one. Of course, it is missing Dragula. So,
well, can't have everything.
Can't be perfect. Yeah. Just play any game with licensed music from the late 90s, and you'll hear Dragula. Exactly. That was really it. I mean, otherwise I played more Zelda 2, I should say. I played more Motorsport Manager. But yeah, it is so good. But not a lot else this week, so I don't really have much else to talk about.
Alrighty, Phil, what do you got for us?
What have I been playing? I picked up Yoshi's Crafted World for the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
And
that cute. One? The one that Greg's holding up?
Yes. Well, not
that exact
one. This is mine.
Yeah, that's his.
Is it unwrapped there?
Yep, it is.
Okay.
My kids
probably got a lot of French on the back of that one, Greg.
Real pretty. Yeah.
Mine doesn't have.
Has to have French.
Has to have that.
I don't think mine has all the French on it. I don't know.
Generally, although I don't know. I mean, but Nintendo's always been one of those companies that I don't think they've ever had a problem putting French on.
Right.
On their packaging.
Yeah. But it's a cute little game. It's
so pretty.
Game.
Oh my god,
it really is. Yeah. And Finn is way into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Isabella's really into it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Finn really digs it, and it's got a 2-player mode. So he at first he wanted to play it with me, so we started playing. We went through a few levels, and then like the next day he was like, "Oh, I'm just going to play it myself." So he went through and played through like the first 2 worlds. He beat the second world boss, and then and then he wanted me to join back in. So we've been playing together, and cool. It is loads of fun. It's very cute. So
just like you, Phil.
Aww.
I really enjoyed the demo. I need to get into the
I'd say it's a worthwhile purchase.
It's a mellow, very slow paced kind of game.
Cool.
So
I like that.
But yeah, it is definitely fun, and certainly more fun if you got a kid playing with you. But boy, it's one of those things though. I cannot kind of seriously play that game when I'm playing it 2 players. And I have this problem with platformers of any type. Certainly like all those like multiplayer Mario games had the same problem where it's like, because it's designed where you can help each other out. And it's great from a enjoyment sort of usability point of view.
Would you say quality of life point of view?
I would not.
That's why I like you,
I would absolutely not say that. If let's say there's a jump that's a little tricky.
Sure.
One of the players can hop on the other Yoshi's back, and the other player who maybe more skilled can make the jump, and boom, suddenly you're both there. Or like you can give the other player a Yoshi back ride, and you can the person running handles the running controls, and the other person can be throwing eggs at at all the various things you can knock over, stuff like that. Yeah. But then there's also it's Yoshi, so you shoot out your tongue to swallow enemies and such. You can also swallow the other player.
And poop them out?
And you don't poop them out, but you spit them out. You spit them out as a projectile. So you can take out enemies or trip switches or whatever.
Just like real life.
Yes.
Sure.
But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm getting ready to throw an egg at a target in the background, and I'm setting it up, and okay, I'm just about ready to launch, and now I'm been eaten. And great. Spit me out.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Spit me out so I can hit that switch that we need to hit in order to find some red coins or something.
I love you, son, but seriously, I'm about to lose it.
I know exactly.
But it's very fun though. So I can guarantee that you will have a ton of fun playing with your daughter, CJ.
Okay, cool.
So
in the Mario, so I haven't played a lot of the like New Super Mario Brothers that had the 4-player multiplayer, but wasn't it the case where you could actually accidentally like ruin somebody's jump in that? Like the collision was such that you could collide and a long jump would be stopped.
That certainly sounds right.
I don't think you can collide with each other in this.
No, okay, that's good.
Yeah, because I don't remember having any sort of frustration about the two of us trying to jump simultaneously. I think you just passed, or I think like if you're in midair, because certainly like if one person's on the ground and the other person jumps and lands on them, you're suddenly piggybacking.
Right.
But I think if you're both in the air and collide, I think you just pass through each other.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. I don't know if you get this with Finn. Maybe I get this with Charlotte, where we play 2-player games often. Yeah. And at a certain point, maybe when my daughter's tired of playing, she'll just like hide in the game. She'll
you talked about this before, actually. Yeah.
And she'll hide.
Really?
I'll be like, please help. Like,
no, I don't. No, I haven't had that problem with Finn.
We were playing Assault Android Cactus Plus.
Yeah.
And we were playing the little score attack one that's just a infinite rounds of enemies. And she hid behind a wall.
Oh. And just wouldn't let you go.
Okay. That's called preservation. That's like,
let me shoot all the
smartest player in the room.
I know. That's very smart. She lasted a lot longer than I did.
There you go.
Nice.
And when we play occasionally Fortnite or Realm Royale, which are battle royale games. And when we play the regular game, I usually get killed first. And she goes and hides. So, yeah,
nice.
Fun. Anyway.
Now, if anything, I have the problem where I'm trying to explore and knock over everything in the world to find all the hidden coins and flowers and stuff. And Finn's just like, let's go. So he's like, all the way at the right side of the screen, and I'm all the way on the left side of the screen, just like, walk back over here. There's a little cloud I want to hit.
That was like when I played when I was playing lots of Lego Dimensions, and I played with my son.
Yeah,
and he was the exact same way. Where I'm a bit OCD when it comes to those games.
Right.
Where it's like, well, what's breakable? Okay, so all these things are breakable, so I have to break every single thing. On the screen.
I'm the same way.
He's like running forward and doing things. He's getting so frustrated with me because I'm still just messing around with, like, oh, there's a trash can over there I didn't break.
Well, man, the Lego games, that's the whole. You got to break everything to get all the studs, so you can buy all the new stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, man, this is age and experience.
How are you gonna
youth and
how are you gonna earn that gold brick for filling up that stud meter?
Got to get the studs.
You need as much help as you can get filling your stud meter. Gregory,
I agree with you, but it's definitely my same experience I had with my son on that.
That's funny. What else? Oh, I downloaded one of the new arcade archives that came out this past week. Another Nintendo arcade classic?
Question mark?
Donkey Kong 3.
I have never played Donkey Kong 3.
Oh, really?
Never. Yeah.
Donkey Kong 3. Did you pick it up on the Switch?
No.
Okay.
I picked up Junior.
Are you going to?
Because Junior's fun. 3, I don't know.
You should.
It kind of depends on what you say in the next 5 minutes.
You're a Nintendo nerd.
You're right.
Nerd, so you should pick it up, especially since I believe this is the first time the arcade version of Donkey Kong 3 has been released on anything.
Oh, really? Oh,
I believe so. I mean, obviously there was an NES port, but
which I never played.
Yeah. It is not, it's accurate by NES standards.
Sure.
But it's not exact to the arcade, just like Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. were not exact to the arcade on NES. It's a weird game. It's not really a good game.
Is this the one where you're spraying
you are Stanley the Bug Man.
Okay.
Exterminator extraordinaire. It's a weird because it's like more like a shooter. It's more like a Galaga style shooter. Yes.
Huh.
Stanley can move left and right.
Yeah.
He can also hop up and down on a limited number of platforms that are towards the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Your ultimate goal in each stage, what you need to do in order to progress to the next stage is because Stanley's down at the bottom with his platforms.
Underneath Donkey Kong in the butt, don't you?
Yeah. Underneath him, there is a little garden with 5 plants. Hanging up at the top of the screen, you have Donkey Kong. He's hanging between 2 vines. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to shoot Donkey Kong in the butt with your bug spray. And each time you shoot him in the butt, he does a little woo, and he scoots up his vines.
Uh-huh.
And you got to keep shooting him in rapid succession to get him to move up and off the top of the screen. That will send you to the next level.
Okay.
Now, impeding your progress, you have at the beginning of each stage, there are a couple beehives. This game is ridiculous. There are a couple beehives on either side of Donkey Kong.
Uh-huh.
And at the start of each stage, he leans over and he bats a beehive. He bats the other beehive, and that causes these bugs to start swarming around. So as you are trying to shoot Donkey Kong's butt, you have these bugs in kind of a Galaga type fashion. The bugs are swooping down, attacking you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to shoot the bugs while you're trying to shoot Donkey Kong in the butt. And the bugs will, they can ram into you. They can shoot at you. Some of the bugs, when you shoot them, they will explode into fragments that can hurt you.
Okay.
The bugs will also, they will fly past you to your little garden at the bottom of the screen, grab one of your plants, and fly away with it.
Uh-huh.
And if all your plants get taken away, it's game over.
I see.
So you're trying to dodge bugs and enemy fire. You're trying to protect your plants. You're trying to shoot Donkey Kong in the butt. Meantime, you got snakes
been the most times
and
the phrase "in the butt."
No,
it's been.
I can't believe we're still talking about this.
I know.
And the little worms will wiggle underneath Donkey Kong, and if you
this
shoot
is the reason
worms,
all of our thumbnails are Phil.
It
this is the reason. You're right.
Your spray. There's a ton of crap going on in this game.
Okay.
And it's confusing, and it's kind of hard to keep track of everything, and it's not really that much fun. But it is a old Nintendo arcade game.
Sure.
Starring one of their
So it gets a pass.
Their main franchise characters.
Yep.
The only way it could get more of a pass is if it had Link in it somehow.
Yeah.
It's not a very good game, but I have an odd kind of fond nostalgic memory for it because I did play it a little bit in the arcade back in the day.
Okay.
And because it was a Donkey Kong game. Because I love Donkey Kong. I love Donkey Kong Jr. I saw Donkey Kong 3. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I played it. It wasn't that awesome. But the earliest memory I have of getting a top score, like the number 1 score in an arcade machine, was playing Donkey Kong 3.
That's hilarious.
Yes,
because no one else is playing it.
Well, that's right. It. At the time, of course, I was super impressed with myself. Whoa! I was at some arcade at a mall, and I was with my mom, and she let me go into the arcade for a few minutes. I got to pick a game or two to play. One of them was Donkey Kong 3, and I played it, and I got the #1 high score, and I was so impressed. I was, oh, Mom, come here, look at this. Oh, that's great, Phil. I'm sure that means something. And at the time I was like, wow, I must be great at this game. But of course now I realize, like Greg said, it's because no one else was playing it, of course. So,
Now, important question.
Yes.
When you entered in your initials in a game that you got a high score on back in the day.
Yes.
You could do that in
of course.
Arcade games, and they were often like you could put in 3 characters.
Yes.
What'd you put in, Phil?
In this instance, I certainly put in my actual initials.
Okay.
Because I was proud. I was very proud. I got the
but what would you normally put in?
What was your go-to? Yeah.
I mean, if I was playing the game by myself,
just say poo.
Well, no, if I was playing the game by myself, I would put in my actual initials because I was genuinely proud.
Or FRT.
when I got a high score. Yeah. But if I was with some friends and we were joking and goofing around, yes, of course, poo would be the go-to.
That would be the one.
Yeah. Maybe ass if I was feeling a little naughty. And thought I could get away with it without any of my friends ratting me out.
Sure.
And I'm putting cuss words in the arcade machine, but yeah. So I picked that up.
Greg, what did you put in arcade?
I just put in GJ. My first and
I just
initial.
put in my initials.
Yeah.
It was very boring.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then tutted anybody if I saw the word ass or poo on the high score screen. That's not their real initials.
I never.
This is why arcades have such a bad reputation. That and all the drugs being sold out the back door. But mostly the poo and ass sitting in the high score table.
Right.
Well, I feel bad for Albert Samuel Stevenson. Who
Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo.
It's my real initials, damn it. Why can't you just accept it? Oh man. That was when before Finn was born, and we were trying to figure out what name we wanted. Because we had
Joey Jojo on the list?
No, Joey Jojo was not on the list. But we were trying to make sure that his initials didn't we didn't want his middle name to be like Robert.
Yeah.
Because then his initials would be fart.
FRT.
Yeah. So
speaking of fart.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? What's up, my dude?
Just eating.
What? You want me to come out there and talk to you for a minute? I'm going to go talk to Finn for a minute.
For a year.
A
year. Oh my God.
That's what it feels like when you're talking.
I also, before I go for a moment, I also picked up for the Switch Gal Medal.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a music rhythm game. It's on sale every place for like $15.
Okay.
I have barely played it yet, so I just kind of went through the tutorial. Well, actually, not even the tutorial. It's just like the prologue. You have like it's some Japanese game about a high school girl heavy metal band that is trying to save the Earth from an alien invasion.
Naturally,
from an octopus, alien octopuses, and yeah, it's like a rhythm drumming game. And I've just played like one quick little practice stage. It seems very complicated, but it seems cute. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm gonna go talk to Finn real quick. You guys do whatever it is you do.
Will do.
I don't know what to do now that Phil's not here.
I don't know either. I guess I'll talk about what I've been playing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've been playing more Farm Together. On the Switch. This is that very relaxing farming game. They opened up an Easter event in the game. So you plant Easter eggs and you get special Easter related cosmetics for your farmer if you do them. So that's cool. So Charlotte and I have been playing more of that, and that's been fun. Also played a little bit of this free-to-play game on the Switch. I know, right? Free-to-play. It's on every platform pretty much anyway. Mobile, Xbox, I think it's on PlayStation 4, everything, really. Gems of War. So the original creators of Puzzle Quest. This is their new game, Gems of War. I believe my Switch right now. 505 Games is the publisher. But yeah, basically it's Puzzle Quest as a free-to-play game, and it's got a crap ton of stages and the sort of same kind of story as Puzzle Quest had, same sort of powering up moves as Puzzle Quest had. And I think it's a pretty fun game. And it's
Puzzle Quest.
It's free on the Switch, so why not? But it's on mobile, it's on everything, and it's a free to play title.
Hey, I'm on the store right now. Did you know that Donkey Kong 3 came out?
I did, because Phil just talked about it.
Oh yeah, right.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, there are a bunch of free to play games on the Switch, and Gems of War is one of them. But I think it's worth a download.
Yeah, no, Puzzle Quest was awesome. So I'm definitely going to download that because it was a good time. And it's been a long time since I played that. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get into tweets?
Sure. You got the soundboard ready?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, come on, CJ.
I wasn't expecting to have to use this one. All right. Here we go. I think it's now time for tweets. Tweet. Thank God I had that soundboard. All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias the Dutch Slayer, who says, "You guys seen the Dangerous Driving game? It's $20. It's $20 download by the makers of Burnout 3, and it looks like 100% Burnout 3 and looks fantastic. Comes out next week." Yes, in fact, I have been very excited about Dangerous Driving since it was announced. And I've already pre-purchased it on the PlayStation 4.
And I am going to do the same. So we will be playing that this week.
And I have heard that it is exactly Burnout 3, basically.
Which is awesome.
Which is excellent.
So excited.
So down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready for Burnout. More Burnout style stuff is good. And Three Fields Entertainment they've been doing these like indie games. They did Dangerous Golf and a couple of other dangerous games to build up to this, like basically building the physics engines and the car models and things that they would need for this game through releasing other games. So I'm ready for this one. Ready for
this one?
My body is ready. And my pre-order is in. So doing it. Hacker Alias Tobacco Skunk says, thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077. So here's the thing about Cyberpunk 2077 from my perspective. No release date. We saw that like half-hour demo at E3, which I thought looked cool. I'm not going to get any more excited about Cyberpunk 2077 right now until it's very close to release. Like I just don't see any point. That's my stance on that.
I think that makes perfect sense. Although, I mean, I am excited about it just because it's from CG Projekt Red.
Sure.
And Witcher 3 was amazing.
Yep.
But also a little bit bummed because I also could not find the time to finish Witcher 3. So right. I'm a little bit like, well, boy, I really want to play this. I don't know though, because it just seems impossible to play anything that's going to be clearly as big as this game will be. But I love the setting. I'm a big fan of that stuff. Like, you know, it's just sort of the Shadowrun vibes and the Neuromancer vibes. So I do want to play it.
I just try to not get excited about video games 2 and 3 years out anymore.
Yeah, because it has become a little bit it's become a little bit irritating. I mean, we were just talking about Anthem, and I mean, I think the first time we saw Anthem was 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. And is that article
How long
article stated it wasn't even a game at that point.
No, it was literally
it was
a demo.
Barely a prototype at that point. Yeah.
And I mean, Last of Us 2, same thing. I mean, they've been just teasing that for so freaking long.
I hope the next time that we see Last of Us 2,
it's playable.
It's playable, and it's like only a few months away from release. I don't want to. I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to see anymore. I want to play it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Phil, what are your thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077?
I don't know.
That was a shrug. That was a shrug.
Who cares? Whatever.
All right, let's.
What else did you guys talk? Did you talk about anything else before while I was gone?
Mostly just you.
Okay, that's fine.
No, nothing you would care about, Phil.
Finn. Yeah, Finn was very proud of he was working on a Minecraft world. He had to show me his latest Minecraft creation that he was.
I told him no one plays Minecraft anymore, right?
Well, I'll tell that to him and his friends.
By the way, I downloaded it because it's now free on Game Pass.
Oh, nice.
So
very cool.
I'll be giving it another try.
Man, I tell you, I dig Minecraft, man. It's silly, but
my kids still fired up just every now and then. Randomly, you'll see them like come home and they'll be playing.
Yeah, I took Finn over to one of my coworkers. Has a daughter who's like a year or two older than Finn, and they are buddies. So Finn went over to her house today to hang out, and when we showed up, when we showed up, she had Minecraft going. So the two of them just
settled in.
Like Finn brought his giant binder of Pokemon cards, and apparently, they spent the whole time just comparing their Pokemon cards and building stuff in Minecraft. So
cool.
There you go. Yeah. So there you go.
All right. Hacker alias John Phil Mitch asks, I just found out that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Radical Rescue for the Game Boy is a Metroidvania.
Really?
What are the hosts' favorite Metroidvania style games? And are there any good obscure ones like TMNT3 that you recommend?
If I had more time to think about this, I probably would have an answer to
that. Favorite might still be Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not obscure.
But he has favorite first.
I know.
And I mean, honestly, still Super Metroid.
Well, yeah.
I'd say Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid are right at the top of the list.
Yeah. What was the was it Dawn of Sorrow? Was that the DS game?
One of the DS games, I believe.
Yeah, Dawn of Sorrow. I really enjoyed.
Yeah. Would you classify a VVV as a Metroidvania?
Kind of
fits the mold, right?
What about SteamWorld Dig?
Yeah. Oh yeah, SteamWorld Dig definitely.
No, I mean it's not good.
No, it's very good.
SteamWorld Dig is outstanding. Jeez.
Lesser known ones.
Oh, what's that? And I'm. You'll forgive my typing.
Actually, we've talked about this multiple times over the last year. Dragon's Trap.
Oh yeah,
and of course the new Monster Boy game.
Right.
Are both excellent Metroidvania style games. By the way, I'm dying a little inside every time I say Metroidvania.
I am. I know, right?
What about Igavania?
No.
How about Metroid style?
Metroid style game. Yeah.
You know what was here's an obscure one. There was a DS game called Monster Tale. Have you ever played that game?
Was that by the developers of Henry Hatsworth?
I think it might be. Dream Rift?
Maybe?
Dream Rift? According to Wikipedia,
which is never wrong.
Dream Rift apparently does not exist anymore. Was an American independent video game developer based in Orlando, Florida, founded in 2009. They developed two games. Monster Tale for the DS and Epic Mickey Power of Illusion for the 3DS, which was also a good game. I enjoyed that the 3DS Epic Mickey. Did you not play it?
I think I played the demo and didn't like it.
Oh, really?
I don't remember.
That was actually a pretty fun little game.
Okay.
But yeah, they Monster Tale was a DS game, and it's a little Metroid style game, and it was really fun, and it had like kind of a virtual pet element to it as well, because like you'd go around and collect monsters or something like that. But yeah, I played that back in the day, and it was really fun.
Cool.
And
well then, okay.
Apparently pretty obscure. So
yes,
well, somebody in our chat was a couple people in our chat are like Monster Tail, thumbs up.
Nice,
so good.
Yeah,
there we go.
It is a really fun game. So
cool.
Yep.
All right, hacker alias Pio Rowe.
Says,
I teach 11 to 18-year-olds and none of them have a backlog. When I was a teen, I had a backlog. Do you think today's teens just move on from games and never look back?
I don't know if today's teens do, but my kids do.
Oh yeah?
No backlog.
They don't
think of it like that.
They don't think that way.
Huh.
They don't seem to. I mean, like my oldest hangs on Roblox a lot. They go back to Minecraft every now and then, but it's not because, oh my God, I got to finish Minecraft. It's because I just feel like playing Minecraft.
Well, a lot of those games, there's no end.
That's kind of my point, right?
Right.
I mean, Izzy's playing Yoshi right now. She probably won't finish it, and I don't think she'll ever say like, oh man, Daddy, we should go back and finish that game. It's just not the way they think. They're very consumable now, I guess is the best word, and I guess it's a lot to do with playing on mobile devices too, where they'll sort of sink a lot of time into one, and then they'll move on and completely forget about the previous one. So I think that's more common than not at this point.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, Finn's actually pretty good about getting through games. Like if he finds a game that he is interested in, he will.
That has an ending.
Yeah, that has an ending. I mean, yeah, certainly like Minecraft, he will just create world after world of, and just do random whatever's in it. But the games that he's gotten into that have endings, he will play through them. Like, I mean, the Skylanders games, he played through a few of the Skylanders games from start to finish, and then started a new save file and played through it again, start to finish. And again, he's done that with a couple of the Skylanders games. Certainly the Minecraft story mode, both of those games, he's played through those multiple times. And I have a feeling he seems to be on track for plowing through Yoshi. So
yeah. All right.
So
let's do this one from hacker alias Sam Q Wood, who says, has there ever been a game made better with the addition of cheat devices such as Game Genie and Game Shark? I completed some hard games that I wouldn't have been able to access otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't name one, but I mean, that's absolutely true.
Aside from just being able to finish those games, a lot of times I had fun just playing around with some of those Game Genie codes that gave you like unlimited ammo, or made it so that you never switched from the spread gun in Contra, or there were infinite lives codes in games. Like, it wasn't even necessarily that I was just going to finish the game, but just finish it without having to worry about losing all of my lives or whatever. I could play it at my own speed.
Clearly, you learned nothing when Game Fan called you out.
Oh, God. Right.
Yikes.
I enjoyed doing all those things. And for the Super Nintendo Game Genie, I enjoyed like modifying some of the Game Genie codes just to see, like, they were printed in the book or whatever, to see if I could get any weird effects out of them or whatever. Like, I found a lot of that stuff really fun.
Super Mario Brothers was very easy to get random crap to happen with a Game Genie. You could just type in just about anything and it would cause some sort of, I mean, it was usually nothing great. But it would be like graphical glitches and things like that.
Regular stages are now underwater and Mario can swim.
The background is suddenly weird colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
So what game wasn't made better with Game Genie Goes?
Yeah, really. I do remember, I believe at one point using a Game Shark too, because I had when Lunar came out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I played through Lunar when they did the PlayStation re-release, but there was some time where I wanted to like play through it again, and like I wanted to play it with Dana just so she could see all of Lunar, but I was just like, you know, I don't want to
deal with the grind.
I don't want to deal with the grind. So yeah, I just use the Game Shark to you know boost the experience you earned in battles and stuff like that.
I'm telling you, I mean, we talked about this before. I mean, it's not used with the Game Shark, but that's the way I'm playing with Phantasy Star right now. With the
that's just it. Yeah,
and I mean that is the best way to play old RPGs as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
because you're not losing anything.
No,
you're really not.
No, you're saving time.
You're losing the treadmill.
Yeah,
you're losing the treadmill.
And clearly, exactly. I don't go with treadmills. Just look at me. I don't use treadmills, but yeah, you get to experience the product without the grind. It's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yep.
Hacker alias Rob Yapel says Crypt of the Necrodancer is a ton of fun, but for me at least quite challenging. Do you think mashup games like Cadence of Hyrule put the devs in a tough spot trying to be all things to all people? I've heard on the internet game enthusiasts can be hard to please.
When's that easy mode coming to Sekiro anyway?
Oh God.
No, but I don't think Crypt of the Necrodancer is going to try to be all things to all people.
I think you're probably right.
It's going to be a crypt game. It's going to be the same game.
It's going to be a dungeon. Yeah. Sure. I played a little bit more of that. What on the PlayStation, and what trips me up, oddly enough, for somebody who has played a lot of rhythm games like I have, like doing all of my movements and attacks with the beat just feels weird when what is on the screen is like a overhead view dungeon. Like it doesn't feel right for whatever reason. So I haven't played very much of it because it just like I get off the beat and don't do well in it. It's very challenging to me as well, is what I'm saying, really, Rob. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see because the graphics are different, and at least in the trailer that they showed in Crypt of the Necrodancer, it has a little like timing thing at the bottom of the screen to help you with the beat, and at least in the trailer for Cadence of Hyrule, that wasn't present, I don't think. So we'll see. It comes out pretty soon, right? It's supposed to be a spring game, so we'll see. Let's do this one for hacker alias Georgie Boy, who says, I know a lot of things are subjective, but what is your guys' guilty pleasure game that you love to play but know that isn't generally good or favored by the masses?
Sewer Shark.
Sewer Shark? Yeah, yep. That's a great one. Night Trap.
I agree. Night Trap.
Night Trap all the way.
What are we talking about?
What's your guilty pleasure game?
Game you like to play that isn't really a good game.
Oh,
but you love to play it.
Isn't that like most of my favorite games?
We just described your library, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all Shelby Musso.
Quite a few of mine too.
Defense Force. Certainly.
That's generally favored by the masses, I find.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
What about Knack and Knack 2?
I've never actually played the Knacks.
Knack 2 is quite good.
Is it?
If you like the Lego games, you will enjoy Knack 2.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That Godzilla game. That PS4 Godzilla game.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Not a great game, technically speaking.
You liked it.
But I loved it. Loved it.
Go back to Sega CD. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah?
I don't even like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But as far as full motion video Dragon's Lair style games go,
yeah,
love that game. And I can sit and play it at any time.
Blue Dragon.
Oh, man.
Blue Dragon.
There you go.
So good.
Yes.
All right. Then let's finish up with this one from Hacker Alias Cub Life 74, who says, "What is your all-time favorite game series and why?"
Oh, that's tough.
I can kick it off. Because mine is The Legend of Zelda, and because I say this
pretty rad. Those creatures from Ganon are really bad.
Really bad, yeah.
Levers.
Tactites.
Octoroks. Yeah.
Which way did
to go?
Or which way to go? That's what.
And I'd say ever since like Link to the Past, really. Zelda 2 I didn't like even back in the day. I enjoyed Zelda 1 a lot.
Right.
But then every Zelda after that I have really, really enjoyed and finished most of them. The console ones anyway, not too many of the portable ones.
Right.
But I've at least played a good way into those. So I'd say Zelda. If I had to like pick only one series to play in the future, it'd be Zelda.
Right.
Sure.
Nice. Mine's pretty obvious, of course. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
Yep.
I've been
big Michael Ironsides fan. Is that why?
Well, I mean, who isn't?
Yeah.
Who isn't? But I've been a Tom Clancy fan since.
It's called Tom Clancy's now. Tom Clancy's.
Well, I've been a big Tom Clancy's fan. I'm talking about it. I'm talking about all of the Clancy verse. The novels. No, it's Mega Man. I love me the Mega Man. Have since
all-time favorite.
Have since the NES days when my first exposure to Mega Man was
the MS-DOS version.
Yes. And that turned me into a lifelong fan.
Of high-tech expressions.
Yep.
And
right. I don't recognize the Capcom version.
No.
Mega Man.
High-tech expressions.
No, there are two. Yeah. There was an old issue of Nintendo Power that I like the tips and tricks or counselor's corner section or something. They had a screenshot of the first Mega Man game of the Yellow Devil, the rock monster that the big yellow one-eyed dude that breaks into many parts.
Screw that thing.
Yes. And they just showed a screenshot of Mega Man fighting the Yellow Devil, and I thought it looked amazing. I was like,
I think I remember that screenshot.
These graphics look great because it's a cool looking sprite.
Yeah.
And my good friend Jim, who was my kind of NES buddy back in junior high, I remembered that he had that game. And I was like, Jim, you got to let me borrow this Mega Man game. So he did, and I played it, and I fell in love with it immediately. Because I mean, it's Mega Man. It's a good game.
Sure.
One of the best NES games. And and then like shortly thereafter, because 2 was announced, and of course Nintendo Power was promoting that game like crazy. So I was obviously hyped off that and picked it up. And Mega Man 2, forget it. We're talking about your best of the NES list. Mega Man 2 is always going to be right near the top. So yeah, that turned me into a lifelong fan of Mega Man through the highs and the low lows.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to think about is like, because I would say Mega Man is right up there for me too. But I also kind of lost interest once you get into like the Battle Network stuff and the later X games.
Well,
but I'm just trying to think of a series that didn't really happen with. And Zelda's definitely up there. I mean, haven't really played a Zelda game I didn't like at some level.
And for me, Ocarina of Time was the one that solidified it for me. Like,
oh really?
Ocarina of Time, I love that game a lot. And in fact, like played it. It came out around Thanksgiving, and I played it all Thanksgiving weekend and finished it at like 4 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice. For me, I would say probably it used to be Final Fantasy. Used to be when a new Final Fantasy came out, I would drop everything to play it. And then 11 happened, and then 12 and 13 happened, and they didn't really do much for me, so I kind of fell out of love with that series. So then otherwise, I'd say probably Castlevania. N64 games aside, I think I really enjoyed every single Castlevania game I played, even the terrible old arcade game, just because it was an oddity at that point, right? But I mean, another one of those situations where would drop everything to play them, especially once we got to like Symphony of the Night and forward from there.
Sure.
Where on the Game Boy and the DS, and like those games were fantastic. So I'd say probably Castlevania is right there, and Metroid's not far behind.
Cool.
Like me them kind of games.
Yeah, excellent. I think that's where we stop for this week.
We should probably do an outro.
Let's just cut it.
Okay.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD from Mr. Greg Seward. You will also find Generation 16 episodes when those are completed.
I have the rough draft of the script done for the next episode, but there's a few other things I've been trying to do a little bit of research, and just want to make sure there's a couple stones that I haven't turned over yet. So, but should be capturing some video for that this week, and hopefully start putting that together.
Cool.
Man.
And you will find show notes and links to the things that we talked about during this episode and other episodes. And you'll find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up the Apple Podcast application. You can also head over to the App Store and check out the Player One Podcast iPhone application. Gives you one-touch communication. What? CJ's giving me weird. He's giving me the stink eye. Did I mess up our outro?
No.
Did I mess it up? No. You give me the stink eye, man.
Don't worry about it. See, it's the thing.
One-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, what have you. And all of our episodes for $1.99.
Cheap.
You can also head over and hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application where you listen to us that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
That's right. We're there. Amazon, Android Marketplace, we're on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can check out archives of our show. Watch old episodes or watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. And if you've liked what you've heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. It'll help put CJ in a nicer class of hotel on his next vacation where they actually bother to clean the pool after someone vomits in it.
Yeah.
Instead of just kind of run over the area with a strainer.
Just skim it.
We got most of it. Got most of it. The pump will take care of the rest.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeesh.
Yeek.
If you have your Patreon dollars do, of course, help keep the show running, keeps the lights on, all that good stuff, all those hidden fees.
Just to say they pay CJ's electric bills.
Yes. There are a lot of hidden costs of running a podcast.
A lot of officials to bribe.
Yep. There's the podcast mafia that we have to pay our protection money to every week.
That's right.
Or else they will throttle our bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
And no one wants that. No one wants that. You know what, though? I don't mind having my bandwidth throttled just a little bit.
Okay.
What? It heightens the experience, Greg.
Oh, Lord.
She's such a prude. Hey, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com where you'll find what?
That site's still down.
Don't bother.
Go to patreon.com/generation16.
There you go.
There you go.
Please.
Clearly, Greg needs the money to get his website up and running again. It helps support.
He's got to pay GoDaddy.
Yep.
GoDaddy. Oh my God. GeoCities.
Hey.
All GeoCities.
It's Greg Sirrett's fantastic web series about North America's favorite second banana, the Sega Genesis.
Yes, please.
Yep. So, very exciting. We love it. We love your work, Greg. Or at least I do. I actually
Even
watch
if you
the shows.
can't find it.
I watch the shows. I find them on YouTube. I'm a subscriber.
I know
on
you
YouTube.
are.
And I am also a subscriber.
I appreciate both of you.
Yeah, but I actually, when a new episode,
watch them.
When I get that, hey, a new video from this channel is available, I say, oh, well, let me just stop everything. I'm going to go look at this.
There you go.
That $2 I make from YouTube every month, Phil's contributed. That's
You're welcome, Greg. You're welcome.
It's all Phil.
Oh, man. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Hey, your Patreon dollars, not to Greg. I don't know what he's offering you, but here at the Player One podcast, friends, if you are a $5 Patreon supporter, you will gain access to a top secret Black Ops post show that we do every week afterwards.
True.
Where we just go ballistic.
Crazy.
We get it's X versus Sever up in here, my friends.
Find out how we really feel.
Don't even sweat it, man. You'll
Who's
get the
loosely
real.
Lou, you or CJ?
I mean,
you've got the body.
Thank you. That is the nicest thing anyone has said to me all week. Yeah. Not the right kind of curves, though.
No, but still curvy.
But you know what? It's a consistent curve.
That's right.
It's just
symmetrical.
Keeps that art going. Yeah, we have fun. We talk. We goof around. We play games. We play trivia contests.
We play trivia poorly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So join us, won't you?
You should.
CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Welcome back from Florida. I'm glad
it's good to be out of
you survived the experience.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you guys collect seashells on the seashore?
No, we did not. No seashells. No.
What kind of lunatic?
I know we didn't come back with seashells.
Takes their kid to a Florida beach and you don't come back with like a big bowl full of seashells.
Sorry to disappoint, but
were there just no seashells?
No, there were seashells.
Was your daughter like,
screw these?
Who cares about this garbage? I want to go swim and vomit.
That's right.
Switch.
Oh well.
Was she playing Farm Together on the beach?
Oh well,
I'm kidding.
That's boy. We collect. I busted out some Animal Crossing. We collected seashells in that.
That sounds like a real vacation, right there.
Don't waste your time.
Good.
Running out by the water there, honey.
No,
we can pick up some seashells in this game, and then we can sell them for bells.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah. No one's gonna want those.
Oddly enough, we didn't get seashells. I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Gregory.
Yo.
Did you collect any seashells this weekend?
No.
That's weird.
But I used to. There's a seashore right behind me, so
true.
It's like getting a little closer every year.
Like in that cabinet of Sega products?
No, I mean outside the house.
Oh,
that away.
Okay.
No.
Well, global warming.
Yep. I give it 50 years and then it'll be actually right behind me.
Yeah, that's seashell. That you better move that cabinet a few feet closer to you.
Yeah,
because that's coming for you. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Phil.
It's good to see you again.
You too, man.
Yeah, don't patronize me.
Just did.
We'll see everybody else next week.
Alrighty.
My folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.